Hi everyone, I'm Florian Link. I'm a professional options and futures trader, and this is my daily trade recap on the 8th of April 2025. So, looking at the broader market right here, we opened up way higher by 3%, and it started to look really good, but I wasn't trusting this kind of push higher. And then the market actually reversed, which I think I read somewhere was the biggest intraday reversal ever, dropping like about 6.5% at the lows, which is an absolutely insane reversal. And I just want to go through some trades that I saw in the market today, some trades that I actually took in the market, which worked out really nicely. And I'll also show you proof on the screen of the order confirmations being filled. Um, but let's get right into it. So the first name I want to look at, which was the biggest trade of the day, in my opinion, was this Amazon play. So basically, I'm looking at that. Let's go through this a bit more step by step, and where I kind of got into the trade. So I got into the trade around here. This is what the market was looking like in this moment, and if we now fast forward a little bit, you can see that the 5 minute was developing nicely for the reversal here. And I'm pretty sure this is just before that drop is where I got in. And then the market just continued to like play out. This was make the lower high. Actually, in this moment, when it did make this lower high, retesting this little range here, right? I want to see these lows reject off the open, dump trade lower, then made the lower high below. And then on the retest, again, this was like an overreaction bug, right? Like a massive sell order just hitting all the bids and just rushing lower. But this was like a flash second. So you got to kind of like not think about this being there. And then made the lower high, rejecting these lows of the reversal top here. At the same time, you've got to look at this. The 15 is looking like this with this nice big upper wick. If you go down to the 2 minute, you see just a straight reversal lower. And this is actually where I add the second contract. We then moved lower here and continued to move lower. I'm just going to exit this replay mode. And just we're able to hold this trade nicely after struggling a little bit here, but the 5 minute was just setting up super nice. You can see here, I still have my alert on in case it does reverse. And still have my alert here. Let me just take these out. And just managed to break these lows, move the market, just dump lower, get a bit of a pulse, then break lower again below these highs here. This is where I then start to take some of the position off. This big fake out wick, and then just continues to dump into late in the day. Just an absolute beautiful trade off the reversal, spotting it really early, even with the market being super strong. Like you've got to imagine at this point, 4:15 p.m., the market was up here looking quite strong, always starting to show some rejection signs here, but nonetheless. And then also you can see the same with the market just dump lower, makes a lower high here. Also a really nice trade, by the way, below these August carry trade lows. That was Amazon. It looked just an incredible short, just dumping lower about from the time I entered to the lows, about 8%, 7% now on the close. Really nice trade. Next up that I want to look at is, let's look at Marvell first as well. So this is the Marvell entry I took, and this was about around here, I think at 5:15. And basically the idea was, I really, I also said in today's daily watch list, I really wanted to see these lows reject here, and it actually did manage to do this really nicely with this nice 30-minute reversal. I would have loved to get in further here up here. This was kind of where the trade was, but I was at that moment busy with the Amazon trade, which is why I kind of missed the entry, which was a bit unfortunate. I was also looking for the 5 minute to show me some nicer signs, which we then got here on this pump, and then reversing lower. And this is then where I took the entry, as the 15 was setting up super nice for the downside with the strong wick rejector VWAP here, rejecting the reversal top. Started to look really, really strongly, but then it struggled to really move lower here and just kept on holding these lows. But then it finally failed, like tried to break out, failed, moved back below, actually finally broke these lows. And then on the retest here, started rejecting these lows again for the downside continuation on the 5 minute. The 15 minute looks very similar. Obviously, a big lower wick on the 15 minute, which makes this not the best entry at this point, but the 15 after just looks incredible. And as you can see, the result is just insane on this trade as well. It was a really, really big winner, about over 100%. Then let's look at Tesla next. I think Tesla also was a pretty decent setup today. again, I was looking for this break and retest of these highs, right? As I said in today's daily watch list video. And then what we actually got is a pretty nice head and shoulders. I did not take the shade. And I only saw it like afterwards as it was developing down here already. So I didn't quite see it in the moment, as I don't usually trade Tesla. But a beautiful head and shoulders setting up on the 15. If you go down to the 5-minute, you can also see this very nice reversal, just getting no follow through above VWAP at the same kind of time Marvell turned around as well. So, and then just managing to just flush lower here with like a really, really strong move from the kind of the entry point to the lows, about 10% move. So a massive trade if you did catch that. I just wanted to put it on here because I thought it rejected these lows really, really nicely with some nice price action patterns coming in clutch. The next idea was Disney that worked out really nicely. Again, the market was so dumpy today that there were a lot of shorts in the market, but I kind of really just broke it down to the like 7 setups I thought were the most beautiful in today's market. And one of them was definitely Disney. Just off the open, started to struggle, started to range at these lows that I was looking to reject. And then actually made this really weak lower high here on the 5-minute. And then this final rejection wick here, last buying attempt before the actual breakdown happening. Really quick action, rejecting the lows, rejecting the range bottom here, and then managing to flush lower very nicely throughout the whole day as well, similar to all the other SERPs in the market. Looking at the 15-minute, looking at the 30-minute, you can just see super clean reversals here of these recent lows. Just the perfect break and retest trade, really. That was exactly what I was hoping, right? That you shouldn't just switch bullish just because the market is gapping up. If it's gapping up into these recent lows, then you just need to go short there and just trust your levels in a way. Okay, next trade. Let's go for the NVIDIA trade. NVIDIA I didn't think was the cleanest trade ever. I just wanted to put it on here because it did kind of align with this low rejection that I was talking about, right? If you remember, and if you haven't, by the way, go watch my daily watch list video from earlier today. I was looking for these recent lows here to reject really cleanly. If you can see here, and that's exactly what happened actually. If you look at it, going back lower here, 30-minute, really nice reversal candle, strong upper wicks rejecting this area here, and then going on down to the 5. There was the reason why I say this isn't the best trade because I don't think there was the nicest entry. The only entry you got here really was this failed hold of VWAP, right? You can see here how the 5-minute is ranging a little bit, trying to hold this opening range top, trying to hold VWAP here, but never gets a follow through push. And this is one of the setups I do like to play because it's such an obvious long that there are going to be trapped longs here who just buy on the candle open or buy on this little break higher. As you can see here, high is 105.2 and then the other high is 105.23. It's just trapping these longs and then just flushing lower and then again rejecting cleanly here on the 5-minute. And I was actually looking at this trade at the time, but usually NVIDIA doesn't really reject the first time around. Like a lot of the times when you see these kind of reversals happen, which happened a lot recently with NVIDIA, you usually don't see this first lower high. This is the exact lower high that I was watching work out as well. But rather you see like it trying to work up and then reversing for the proper pullback. And as we never really got that on the 5-minute, I just had to just not take the trade, unfortunately, which again, this was a really strong trade, but nonetheless, unfortunately, I wasn't able to take it. But again, I just wanted to highlight this setup because I think NVIDIA is such a strong name. Rejecting this really strong level just goes to show how strong levels really are. Then I actually have 2 more names that I just want to get through quickly, which is MS, Morgan Stanley, that I was watching actually all morning and then just missed the entry, which was really unfortunate. At the time that I was looking at it, it was kind of already gone, or it never really pulled back, which I was then in that moment looking for. But it's the exact same idea. Rejecting these lows that I was looking to reject, just can't get higher, no follow through, super strong upper wicks, as you can see here, super strong upper wicks, and then just starts to shift lower with these massive trend selling candle bodies, right? You see a lot of chop here and these wick rejects, and then finally when you actually see the move lower, the bodies get really long, which just shows the aggressiveness of the move. And this final wick reject here before the break of the daily lows, with the 15-minute looking really strong as well, just tightening up into the massive expansion lower super clean trade, rejecting the lows. The only thing I was worried about with this trade and why I wanted to see the confirmation on a 5 minute really, like with a nicer lower high being set than just straight flush lower, was because you were going into these recent highs. And I felt like there was some potential for the to hold, which I tried to eventually, but I was actually looking for this yesterday hard to hold, which I guess was the wrong decision, but yeah, we just got to go with that. And actually, last name today is going to be Visa, where if you remember, again in today's watch list, I was looking for the fell back below previous all-time high, and then the break and retest, which is I mean like, you know, there are like good setups in the market, and like this is just so incredibly strong. If you look at what actually happened, exactly what I wanted to happen, the fell back below the previous all-time high happening here, and then into the lower high, rejecting the previous all-time high, and then just flushing lower, and getting a massive move out of a name like a Visa. Like the option contracts that you're looking at here, the 325 puts, for them to be in the money, which I trade in the money puts, because I just don't like the way out of the money puts lose value when the move goes against you. I'd rather just take the lesser upside of the out of the money options going in the money to protect my downside a little bit. But that's just me. I remember the 360, 325 puts were trading for like 1K, and all the way at the bottom they were trading at 2K. So 100% move of this, which was absolutely crazy. But again, this is one of those days where you are probably never going to capture the whole move, because like you just can't expect the market to move in a straight line like it did today every day. And usually you then get just chopped up or give back a lot of profits. And you always look back at these days in hindsight thinking, I should have held longer. Why did I get out here? Look at all the move, and then you start looking at how much money you could have made. And those are just really bad habits to develop, as you're just unlikely to actually hit the perfect exit on your trades. And there can always be an irrational move lower, where it actually does look long, and then the long doesn't work out, for example, if you're short, right? So that's something really important to keep in mind. But yeah, this was just basically what I wanted to look at with you guys today after this massive down day. If you just quickly look at the market again, I mean, it just rejected here the Friday open, rejected it once again for the clean flush lower. By the way, this is exactly why I didn't add on to like long-term positions just yet, because I knew this bounce just wasn't sustainable yet, or at least I need to trend switch, I think, which I also said in today's video. Again, like, please do go and compare these videos. Do watch the daily watch list video, and do watch after you've watched this, and then compare. And I think you're going to see that it's just levels. It's literally just levels. You just got to be able to play the levels. Just got to be patient, and then put on the risk, and be disciplined about exits as well. It's super important. But yeah, so this was the trade recap video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I might be back for another daily watch list video tomorrow. If not, we'll see each other later this week. And I hope you enjoyed. Again, stay safe out there, traders. STG.